Hi friends, today's video is again going to be very interesting, informative, and it's going to give you new insights into your relationship, into even your fortune, luck, and your personality. So today we are going to talk about all the different 12 ascendants across the D9 chart. All the different 12 zodiac signs in the ascendant or first house of your Navamsha chart, which is a chart of fortune and good luck also. Now friends, I will definitely take you through a sample chart first, and then we will go into the results for each of the ascendants in the D9 or Navamsha chart. Friends, this is the structure of a sample chart. So this is not a full-fledged chart with planets. Only the signs are there, all the 12 signs from Aries to Pisces, and these are the 12 houses. This is a North Indian style chart where this is the first house, this is the 7th house, okay, and this is the 12th house. So all the houses you can see. So this is a D1 chart or Lagna chart. Alright. So here you can see that this is a chart of an Aries Ascendant. So find out what sign is there in the D9 chart of this particular native. So this is the D9 or Navamsha chart, the chart of fortune. So in this chart you have to find out what is the zodiac sign in the first house of the D9. So here you can see the zodiac sign which is in the first house of D9 is Aries again. So this is a Virgottam Navamsha. So Aries sign is in the first house of D9. Yes, you can see that. Alright. Now sometimes what happens in the first house of D9, there can be a different sign. So you may have a different sign in the first house of D9. So here you see that, say if this is the D9 chart of a native, say, and here you have the sign of Leo. So in the D1 you have Aries, but in the D9 sometimes you have a different sign. So you can also have a different sign, like here you can see it is a sign of Leo. And sometimes it is the same sign, Aries itself. So what sign you have in the first house of D9? Do you have Aries? Do you have Leo sign? Are you an Aries ascendant? Are you a Leo ascendant? What ascendant are you in the D9 or Navamsha chart? That's going to be the topic of today's discussion, and what it can show about your relationship with your partner and about your own life, fortune and personality. Let's get started. Do subscribe. Okay friends, so what's going to happen if you have the sign of Aries in the first house of your D9 or Navamsha chart? That means you're an Aries ascendant in the D9. So first we'll talk about your relationship, because Navamsha is the chart of relationship or marriage and also the chart of fortune. So as far as relationship is concerned, you will definitely look for a passionate relationship. Yes. And you will want to take initiative in the relationship also. You will, want to be creative in the relationship. Okay. You will want to do new things with your partner. And, you'll take new initiatives in the relationship. Now, as far as relationship is concerned, you also actually want a partner who is active, somebody who is active, somebody who is energetic, passionate in love. That sort of partner you actually want. Okay, and you want your partner also to take initiative in the relationship, and you want it to be a passionate connection, which is also a deep-rooted, healthy, physical connection. That sexual attraction is also going to play a big role. Okay, because Aries is after all connected to the physical body also. So all these things about relationship, okay? So you may be courageous in matters of relationship. Your willpower can also, you will exercise your willpower when it comes to relationship matters, and you will believe that, it's very important for you to be involved with a person whom you have manifested, whom you like. So your willpower should be involved in that relationship, and so you will definitely choose a person with whom you can connect. So your will, your willingness, and your involvement and your initiation is going to be very important in the relationship. You can be even bold, courageous, you can be forthright, straightforward, and fearless also when it comes to relationship matters. All that we can say. Again, Aries is a sign which is ruled by Mars. So find out how Mars is placed in your D9 and even D1. So all that will tell you, what sort of initiative and courageous moves you're going to take in your relationship life, or when it comes to, getting married and settle down with someone. So all these things we can say. A passionate relationship is what you are longing for. Now, but yes, you could also be impulsive in making decisions relating to your relationship. So be careful. Don't get impulsive. Alright? So stability is something which is a challenge at times in relationship. So it's very important to have stability in the relationship. And if the dispositor of this planet, say Aries Ascendant in D9 chart, so the dispositor is definitely Mars. So Lord of Aries, I would not call it dispositor, the sign lord. The sign lord or the ascendant lord in the D9 is Mars. So you have to find out how Mars is placed in D9 and D1. Okay? So impulsively you shouldn't act. You should take a stand for your love. Definitely. You should have the courage to express your love and stand up for your person, and you have to protect your person always. But again, you should not be impulsive in making decisions relating to love life or relationship life or marriage. Don't get impulsive. And also what I want to say, that restlessness, impulsiveness is something which is to be controlled. And also what I would say about your relationship is that this relationship will survive as long as both of you continue to take initiative, make efforts. That's very important. Now, what about your fortune, your personality? Okay, you may be a person who is very creative. Very creative. You can be a seeker of knowledge. Okay, and you may at times be egoistic also. If now it depends on how powerfully Mars or Sun they are placed, because Sun exalts in Aries. So at times you may be egoistic. At times you may be a little, self-centric. It's possible. So again, there is a possibility of ego clashes in the relationship also. And nevertheless, you will succeed in life if you remain disciplined, hardworking, if you take up challenges, if you face all adversities with courage, with willpower, with self-confidence. If you are hardworking, disciplined, then definitely you will do very well in life. You need to remain a knowledge seeker throughout your life. You need to showcase your creativity, creative skills and knowledge, and then you will be successful in life. Okay, whichever be your field of work, it is very important to constantly gain knowledge and skills that will take you a long way in being successful in your career. And you'll be able to get fortunate in life. So if Mars and Sun are well placed, you will exactly be such a person. You will be so self-motivated, you'll be so self-dependent. You will have a high sense of self-esteem. You won't rely on others for anything. So wonderful qualities you will have. You'll be so structured, disciplined, and you'll have a high sense of morality. You will never compromise on your moral principles. You will even be faithful to your person. Okay, you will believe in spiritual connection and being faithful to your person as well. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Taurus Ascendant in the Navamsha or D9 chart. Alright. Taurus Ascendant. Okay. Taurus is the sign in which Moon exalts, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. If Moon and Venus are more or less well placed in your chart, then you will get wonderful results. Look at your Moon and Venus placement in D9 as well as D1. You will be somebody who wants to lead a life of luxury and comfort. Okay? In relationship also, you will want to provide nourishment to your person, and you will expect that your person will also take care of you. You want your relationship to be based purely on love and affection. Okay? And true concern for each other. The desire to make each other comfortable. The desire to provide pleasure to each other in every possible way. You may also be sensual, and you may look for sensual pleasures. Definitely. In a relationship, satisfaction of even sexual desire in a relationship is also going to be very important aspect for you in the relationship, because you are so much driven by your senses. Also, as far as relationship is concerned, if you are looking for a stable relationship, Taurus is earth sign, and it is part of the earth trine, the trine of efforts, practicality, stability, groundedness. So you want your relationship to be stable. If Moon and Venus are well placed in your horoscope, you'll be blessed with a committed relationship, and your partner will be committed and faithful to you, and you will also be loyal to them, and it will be a stable, committed relationship. That's what you're exactly looking for in the relationship. And you're also looking for a person who believes in, sensuality, who believes in exploring ways of attaining luxury in life. But then you also want to attract a partner who is, again, committed, just like you are. Now, what about your fortune and your personality? Definitely, if you're a Taurus Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha, you will be somebody who is a go-getter. You'll be a person who believes in being task-oriented, goal-oriented in life. Nothing is more important than reaching your targets and goals and accomplishing your tasks. So you will believe in your own efforts, in your hard work. You're so practical, so grounded. By dint of your efforts and hard work, by dint of your analytical powers, you will want to manifest things in your life, whether it is career, whether it is relationship. You are somebody who is also particular about details. Okay, and you're very analytical as a person. So you can do very well in any field of business also. You can also be very much attached to your family if Moon and Venus are well placed. You can have a beautiful face, attractive looking personality, and you can also have a very pleasant way of talking if Moon and Venus are well placed. You can also be a great lover of food and comforts and luxury in life. You want to earn everything. You want to accumulate resources and wealth in life by dint of your own efforts, by dint of your own hard work and strategies and planning. So all these things about Taurus Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. Now let's move on to Gemini Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. First, what about relationship? Now Gemini is a sign which is connected to Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini. So definitely you will get attracted to a person who is jovial, cheerful by nature. Okay? Somebody who is, who has a great way of communicating their thoughts. Somebody who is intelligent. You will get attracted to such a person. Basically, you are looking for someone who is intelligent, who has a good sense of humor also. Friendship is very important in the relationship with you. You will want to travel with your partner. You will want to do fun things with your partner, play games, take recourse to role playing while love making in relationship and all that. And a partner who is up for all that is a suitable partner for you. A partner who takes things lightly also, who believes in cracking jokes with you and who is always engaged in laughter also. Somebody who is humorous and cheerful. You will like such a person. Nevertheless, look at how Mercury is placed in D9 and D1. If it gets afflicted, there could be commitment issues in the relationship. There could be multiple relationships in your life, and you may find it difficult to commit to one particular partner. It may happen. Now, what else about your relationship? So traveling together, doing fun things, and all that will improve your relationship if you're a Gemini Ascendant in the D9 chart. You like people who are youthful, energetic, who are childlike, innocent, and you connect with them. And also you like people who are intelligent and who have intellectual depth, of understanding things. You will connect with such people. Now let's move on to your fortune and personality if you're a Gemini Ascendant in the D9. Now, again, if Mercury is well placed in D9 and D1, you will be somebody who is very intelligent, who can have great communication skills. You may be connected to any field of communication, whether it's journalism, writing, painting. You can have any sort of creative or artistic skills. You can be into any business. You can have great business acumen. You can be into trading. You can be an agent, commission agent. You can have great networking skills. Now, if you're a Gemini Ascendant, you will be very intelligent. You can have a duality of nature also. Yes, there can be a certain duality in your character. People may find it difficult to understand you. Okay? Because you are somebody who is very adaptable. You can change yourself, adapt yourself to changing circumstances very quickly. Your changeability, adaptability, diplomacy and duality. So all that is very fascinating if you're a Gemini Ascendant in the D9. Again, you are somebody who is, now Gemini is part of the Gemini is part of the Kama Trikona. Kama trine, the trine of desires, ambition. So you are very ambitious also in life if Mercury is well placed. You have a lot of desires to be fulfilled, a lot of tasks to be accomplished, a lot of expectations from your own self, even from your partner, a lot of desires to be fulfilled in life pertaining to your relationship, pertaining to career, because you're very ambitious also. Okay, you have a lot of desires, even unending desires, and you want to fulfill them by dint of your own efforts, because you are again somebody who's very practical. Okay, you are somebody who looks at things logically. Okay, so that's your cerebral outlook. on things. Okay, so you will, by dint of your own efforts and intelligence, you will want to fulfill all your desires in life. So if Mercury is well placed, you will figure out what you want to do in life, and you will have great intelligence, great ideas, great analytical abilities, and you will prosper in your field of work. If Mercury is not so well placed, you may be confused as to what should be your direction in life, what profession you should choose in life. You may be confused if Mercury is not well placed. You need to do remedies for Mercury then. Now let's move on to what will happen if you are a Cancer Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha chart. Cancer sign is part of the Moksha trine. Cancer is the sign in which Jupiter exalts and Mars debilitates. It is a sign which is ruled by Moon. So again, depends on how Moon is placed in your chart. Okay, if Moon is well placed and Moon and Jupiter are well placed, you will be somebody who is blessed with a lot of knowledge. You are endowed with a lot of knowledge, deep knowledge regarding things. You are very knowledgeable. Then you have an in-depth ability to understand. An uncanny ability also to understand things. In-depth understanding of things you have. You believe in going to the depth of things and searching the truth. You are never satisfied with superficial facts. You always want to research things deeply and come out with the truth. Come out with the inner reality of things. That's what you're always searching. So such people can do very well in any field of investigation and research. But again, Mars is debilitated in Cancer. So sometimes it is seen that Cancer Ascendants, they're so emotional, and they are like this again because Cancer is part of the Moksha trine. They can be so emotional, they can be so forgiving. They believe in letting go of, people's mistakes, and they may even let go of things dear to them for the sake of others. So because they are so accommodative and they are always thinking of, the good of others, their heart overflows with love for others. So at times they may not focus on themselves. This happens because they are so busy serving their family members. They're so busy taking care of the home and household that their own ambition, own desires may take a back seat. So be careful. Don't let that happen. It's good to have love and compassion for others, but you shouldn't forget your own purpose and ambition in life. If you are into any field of research, investigation, you will do very well. If you're in the healthcare industry, you'll do very, very well. If you're into human resource department, you'll do well. Whichever field, if you're into nursing, like if you have to take care of others in any field, you can be a very good counselor also. Now, what about your relationship? Relationship, after all, it's ruled by Moon, Cancer sign. So there'll be ups and downs and upheavals in the relationship life. At times you will emotionally connect with your person. At times you will feel that you are getting emotionally distanced from your person. Again, it depends on how Moon is placed in your horoscope. If Moon is more or less well placed, then definitely it can be a relationship which can be based on a lot of, love and affection, the desire to take care of each other and provide nourishment to each other. But if Moon is not so well placed, then lots of ups and downs and fluctuations in the relationship. Traveling with your person is a very good remedy to improve the relationship. there has to be a tendency to sacrifice your own comfort for the sake of your partner. It's very important. When you sacrifice your own pleasure for the sake of your partner's joy, they will also reciprocate. So this relationship needs to be based on mutual sacrifice. Having compassion for each other is very important. Now let's move on to what will happen when you're a Leo ascendant in the Navamsha or D9 chart. Leo. Alright, Leo is ruled by Sun. So definitely such people will have leadership qualities. They can be creative and knowledgeable also. They will always love their own independence in life. Now first I'll talk about relationship. They are looking for a spiritual connection with somebody. They are truly romantic in nature actually. They believe in love and romance. They believe in commitment in the relationship. They believe in selfless, unconditional love. If you're a Leo ascendant in the D9, going to any extent for the sake of your partner, because it is a spiritual bond. It's a spiritual connection. And you expect the same from your partner also. True commitment, loyalty, mutual trust. These things are very important if you're a Leo ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. Now, also being friendly with your partner, this relationship also, you want your partner to be a friend to you. You want to share hobbies and interests also with your partner. So you have a desire maybe also to travel with your partner, do all things with your partner. And you also have a high sense of self-esteem. You will sacrifice, material things for your partner, definitely. But you have a high sense of self-esteem or self-respect. So this relationship should be based on mutual respect. Then it's really going to last. Now what about your personality and what about your fortune? You will have, as I said, you'll be a leadership abilities, and you'll be somebody who will also want to take initiative in doing things, because Leo is part of the Dharma trine. You'll be dutiful, you'll believe in Dharma and duty. Again, if Sun is more or less well placed in D9 and D1, you'll believe in your sense of duty and responsibility towards yourself and others. You will believe in establishing your own identity by dint of your own knowledge, efforts, by dint of your own skills. You can be somebody who's very creative, somebody who's also very romantic. You are somebody who believes in love. You are somebody who believes in spirituality. You are someone who also believes in making friends. You believe in enjoying life also, yes. That is happiness, because Leo is the sign of happiness. Whatever gives you happiness, you will move towards that in life. Also, you want to, again, attain name, fame and recognition because of your knowledge and skills. That will depend on how Sun is placed. If Sun is well placed in D9 and D1, you will be able to attain name, fame and recognition. Someday in life, you will be able to attain that, again depending on the dasha you're running, because of your knowledge and skills that you possess. Alright? So, after getting into a relationship with your partner, if Sun is well placed in the horoscope D1 and D9, you will maybe, you can also get better social recognition. after being in relationship with a person. That's possible. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Virgo Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. Okay, this is again slightly tricky placement. Why? Because Virgo is the sign in which Mercury exalts. Yes, we all know that. Excuse me, friends. But it is also the sign of debilitation for Venus. Venus, the planet of relationship. So Virgo Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha, you are so detail oriented. You're so hardworking. You're a perfectionist. You have great analytical abilities. But when it comes to relationship, you may experience problems. This can happen. Yes. Excuse me, friends. Unless your partner is somebody who belongs to your workplace, okay, there will be problems in adjusting with people. Yes, because you're a perfectionist. You're looking for perfection in everything. You're so particular about minute details regarding everything, even pertaining to relationship. So that can create problems and conflicts in the relationship, because Virgo is also the sign of conflict. So you have to somehow forego this tendency. You have to give up this tendency of, paying attention to minute details all the time, because it could be irritating for your partner also. Because we also have to at times look at the bigger picture. We have to also at times, look at things in their entirety, and so at times it is okay to overlook unnecessary details. So that's what you have to remember. So you have to analyze what is going wrong in the relationship, why conflicts are happening, how you can avoid them. You are already analytical by nature, so you have to figure out what is going wrong, how you can improve your relationship with your partner. So yeah, and whatever is causing the conflict, you will have to see to it that that particular reason or cause is uprooted, so that there are less conflicts, so that there's better understanding, and so that you can avoid quarrels. Now, all that about relationship, you shouldn't take your person for granted. Doing routine things for your partner, very important. Going on a dinner date every weekend, or remembering special days like anniversary, the first day that you propose to each other, or on festivals, on special occasions, doing certain things for your partner, giving them gifts, and doing things on a routine basis. In fact, making efforts, because Virgo is part of the Earth trine, the trine of efforts. So you should never give up on each other. Always continue to make efforts in the relationship. Then this relationship is going to be successful someday, and it will survive. Okay? You should also have a tendency to serve your partner. Why not? Because Virgo is also the sign of service. So overlook things that are unnecessary, and instead you should have a desire to serve your person. That's very important. Okay? And even maintaining a routine sex life is very important with your partner. Now, what about your life, your personality, and your fortune? If you're a Virgo Ascendant, and if Mercury is well placed in D1 and D9, you are somebody who can do very well in any field of work which is connected with research, investigation, analysis, because you have great analytical powers. You can be in the service sector, you can be in the healthcare sector, you can be in the legal sector. Okay, because you have great argumentative abilities also. Mercury, after all, exalts in Virgo. Great intelligence, analytical abilities. So any sort of intellectual pursuit in life will help you. You can be a great healer, even occultist. If you are a Virgo Ascendant in the Navamsha or day 9. But whatever work you do, you should always have a tendency to serve the others, serve the other, serve the person with whom you're dealing. If you have this attitude, you will prosper day by day. And you'll be able to heal people. If you're into healing, if you're into psychology or occult, you can heal others and you'll be very successful. Alright? But yes, you are a perfectionist. You are somebody who's grounded, practical. You are task-oriented, goal-oriented. You want to accumulate resources also in life by dint of your own efforts and hard work. Because this is an earth sign. You believe in your hard work. And you want your hard work to yield results. You can be even materialistic. Now let's move on. And not just materialistic, you may want to accumulate resources so that you may later on be engaged in even social service, because it's also connected to social service. Serving the unprivileged sections of society. But in order to be able to do that, first you have to accumulate resources yourself. And all that you want to do by dint of your hard work. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Libra Ascendant in the D9. Libra is a sign which is ruled by Venus. In this sign, Saturn exalts and Sun debilitates in Libra. What does that mean? It means that you are somebody who believes in harmony and balance in everything. Whether it's career, whether it's domestic life, whether it's relationship or marriage, you want to always maintain harmony and balance. But in this, attempt to maintain harmony and balance, somewhere, sometimes, your identity or your own ambition, they may take a back seat. So be careful. Because Sun debilitates in Libra. You are so busy maintaining harmony, balance. You are so busy making sure that people around you, they get along well with each other. You want everybody around you to be happy. You are social as a person. But so much into society, so much into making others happy, that at times your own ambition, your own desires, your own goal or purpose in life, all that may take a back seat. So be careful. Don't let that happen. Don't lose your identity in the pursuit of just making others happy. That's what you have to remember if you're a Libra Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. Now, what about relationship? Definitely, you are looking for a partner who would be attractive, partner with whom you can have great physical relationship also. You are also looking for somebody who will also bring about or add to the harmony and balance in your life. So you are looking for somebody who is also, because Libra is an air sign and it's part of the Kama trine, the trine of desires. So you're looking for a partner who is passionate in the relationship, who's also, who has a lot of desire to be with you and to surrender to you, just as you want to surrender to them. You want your identity to be lost, especially maybe, when you come together with your partner. You have this feeling of surrendering yourself entirely to your partner, and you expect the same from your partner. You also believe in give and take. Saturn exalts in Libra. So if you're making efforts in the relationship, you want them also, your partner also, to make efforts. So only then the relationship will last. If both the parties are making efforts to connect with each other. You want to travel with your partner. After marriage or after you're in a committed relationship, you can travel to a foreign land. It's possible. You may do any sort of business together with your partner. That's also possible. You also have a lot of desire to do independent business in life. It's possible. You can go into the legal sector. That's very good for you. You can get into trading or business. That's also very good for you. You can be a very good counselor, even an independent counselor. You can get into counseling. All these are good professions for you. The native who has Libra Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. You are somebody who believes in their intellectual pursuits. You are intelligent because Libra is a sign of the air element and balance. So you have analytical abilities also. But see to it that you are able to fulfill your purpose in life. It is okay to think about society. It is okay to think about sacrificing your happiness for the sake of the people you love. But it is not okay to, put less emphasis on your ambition. So that's very important again. If Sun in the horoscope is not afflicted, then definitely the person will also focus on themselves while doing business or while engaging themselves in any sort of work. So all these things. So if Sun is afflicted, you need to do the remedies for Sun. And if Venus is well placed in your D1 and D9, then it's going to be a wonderful relationship with your partner. A relationship which is going to be based on great partnership. Okay? You will love to deal with your partner in doing everything in life. You will team up with them in doing everything that you want to do after you're in a relationship with them. Both of you will achieve goals, life goals together. Now let's move on to what will happen. If you have Scorpio sign in the first house of D9, if you're a Scorpio Ascendant in the Navamsha chart. Alright, Scorpio is part of the Moksha trine, the trine of compassion. Scorpio is also connected to research, investigation, analysis, in-depth study and investigation, technology. Okay, it's connected to even surgery or even the profession of law, any investigation, to the intelligence department, to even chartered accountancy. It can be connected to investment business, to insurance, etc. Scorpio is connected to all. So your profession may be connected to all of that. It is also connected to healing, occult, psychology. So any of these fields will be very good for you. What about your relationship? Relationship. You want an intense, passionate relationship with your partner. Scorpio is a sign which is also connected to Ketu. So you want true commitment and loyalty in the relationship. You want to surrender yourself to your partner. Similarly, you expect the same from your partner. They should also surrender themselves completely to you. And it's like it has to be an intense, passionate bond where there is true commitment and loyalty, and there is total transparency, an intense, passionate connection. That's what you're looking for in the relationship. great sexual connection also. And then eventually you will have a desire to even sacrifice things for your partner, and this relationship can turn into a spiritual bond in future. So that is how your relationship should be. Very transparent, great intimate life, great physical connection, and loyalty and commitments, as I told you. If these things are not there, if any of these things is missing, then this relationship may not last. You can be distanced from your partner. There can be conflicts with the partner. Because of your relationship, you may enter into suffering. It may cause tension, stress, trauma. It may bring about, your relationship may bring about a negative transformation in your life. But if there is true commitment, loyalty, great physical connection, then it'll bring about a positive transformation in your life. The very act of love making, is an act of total surrender. And if you're in a relationship of marriage, it is also looked upon as a spiritual act. So then it's like it will be an uplifting thing. It will be a positive transformation in your life. This whole experience of love making with your spouse after marriage, it can be a life transforming experience also. But if there is deceit, if there is disloyalty, deception, then it can cause a lot of conflicts in the relationship, and you can get distance from your partner. Relationship may even come to an end. Moon is a planet which debilitates in Scorpio. So don't indulge in overthinking. That is not good in the relationship. Indulging in overthinking, pondering over things, pondering about things related to your partner unnecessarily. Maybe you wanted to know something, you had some doubt, they have provided you with an explanation. Give them a chance. Yes? Instead of, harping on the same point and, over analyzing things. That is not good in the relationship. All that will lead to conflicts in the relationship. So it is also important to give them a chance to explain themselves, and then give them an opportunity. And be watchful, fine. And see how things, pan out. And what turn things take in the near future. So if there is, again and again, if things are bothering you, then it's okay to take a step. But don't get over analytical. Don't get, into that overthinking mode. That is not good. It can cause unnecessary tension and worry. Nevertheless, relationship can transform your life. If Mars is well placed in D1 and D9, it will bring about a positive transformation, a miraculous transformation in your life. Okay? Now, professions that are suitable, I already mentioned. So you are someone who's very analytical. You believe in going to the depth of things, analyzing things, doing research, investigation. So any field of work connected to research, investigation, technology, occult healing, as I mentioned, psychology, any of these fields, or even investments is connected to Scorpio. So all that will give you good results. You may attract a partner who belongs to a totally different land. It's possible. A foreign land where the culture is entirely different. The language is entirely different. You may attract such a person also into your life. It's possible. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Sagittarius Ascendant in the Navamsha or D9. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter, the natural benefic in the horoscope. If Jupiter is more or less well placed in D1 and D9, then you will get wonderful results. You'll be highly fortunate because of this relationship, because of your partner's entry into your life. You're going to be fortunate. Your partner or your person is going to bring about good fortune into your life, good luck into your life. They're going to be your lucky charm, as they say. So, yeah, and you'll see growth, expansion, prosperity in life after you get into this relationship with your person, committed relationship like marriage. Now, Sagittarius Ascendant, very important to give respect to each other. Mutual respect is very important. Respecting each other's space is important. That is important. Respecting each other's life goals is important. Okay? So when you respect each other, when you respect each other's goals and desires, then you can come together and make a wonderful team. And it'll be a sort of relationship which will be based on understanding and selfless love, spiritual bond and connection. You will want to travel the world with your partner. Your partner can be a source of knowledge for you. You're learning so much about various things about life from your partner. You may turn to your partner for advice. You're looking for a person who is knowledgeable, who has knowledge. You're looking for somebody who has a deeper understanding of life. You're looking for someone who is spiritual, benevolent, who is generous, forgiving. You're looking for such a person actually who believes in moral values. If Jupiter is well placed in D1 and D9, you will also be somebody who's going to be loyal to your partner, and you expect the same from your partner. If Jupiter is well placed, it will be a relationship which will be based on loyalty, trust. It will be based on mutual respect. It will be based on deep-rooted spiritual connection. It will also be based on true love for each other. You will help each other grow as individuals. This relationship will bring about happiness, growth, expansion, prosperity into your life. What about your personality and your fortune? Sagittarius Ascendant in the D9. If Jupiter is more or less well placed, if not, do remedies. If it is more or less well placed, that means Jupiter's dispositor is well placed, it is being aspected by benefics, then we say it is well placed. So, you will be someone who will always be a knowledge seeker. You can also have creative abilities. You will have a high sense of self-esteem. You will believe in attaining higher knowledge. You will want to travel the world. You will want to explore the world. Adventure, travel, exploration. Getting attracted to foreign lands, foreign cultures, exploring foreign lands. All that is possible. You may also get attracted to somebody who belongs to a foreign culture in relationship. You may meet your person while you had undertaken a travel to a foreign land somewhere, and maybe you have met your person there while you had undertaken a journey to a foreign land. It's possible. You will want to lead a life of discipline, even structure. You'll believe in your moral principles. You will never compromise on your morality. You can do very well in any field of counseling. Teaching is very good for you. You can be a spiritual guide also. You can be somebody who is, into the field of law. You can do very well in the field of law also. You have a very balanced sense of judgment. So you can be a lawyer, you can be a judge, you can be a good counselor, teacher, professor, healer also. These are all good fields for you. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Capricorn Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha. Capricorn is a sign which is ruled by Saturn. Mars exalts in Capricorn, while Jupiter debilitates in Capricorn. If you're a Capricorn Ascendant, you will believe in your hard work. You'll believe in your own efforts. You're very practical, very grounded. But you should also remember that you need to respect your elders. You are so practical, so grounded in you. Maybe you are a self-made person. You may not blindly follow what's handed down to you by your elders' tradition. You may not blindly follow that. You may question that. It's possible because you're very analytical by nature. Yes. But again, if Saturn is well placed in your horoscope, you will also love your tradition. You will want to maintain your legacy. But you may enter into problems with people in authority who are unduly trying to exercise their power over you. So injustice is something you cannot tolerate. So that's possible. But at times we encounter such problematic people in life, whether within the household, whether in the family, whether at the workplace. We have to deal with people who are unduly trying to exercise their power over us. And Capricorn Ascendant in the D9, you will not be able to tolerate such people. And there is a possibility you will enter into conflict with them. Now, if they are your superiors, then you may get into trouble if you are in a certain job or workplace. So be careful. Try to avoid conflicts with seniors. Very important if you really want to excel in your career. As far as the household is concerned, getting into conflict with those father figures who impose their power. But then again, it is important to respect your father. That is important. Because after all, no, you are indebted to your father. That you cannot deny. And that is my personal belief. Anyone may differ. Anyone may have a different opinion. That's what I believe. That every individual is indebted to their father, to their parents in some way. Father may have certain eccentric habits, but that doesn't mean we will treat them with disrespect. That's what you have to remember. Because you are very judgmental, but don't judge your elders. Don't do that, okay? Though you may feel that you are right, they are wrong, and I understand that. But even then, don't judge your elders. Just try to do that. I'm not saying that you should tolerate injustice. Don't do that. But it's better if you don't argue with them. It's better if you don't hurt them. That's it. Now, Capricorn Ascendant in the D9, what about your relationship? So you are looking for a committed relationship, a relationship which is based on mutual responsibility and even duty for each other. So, yeah, somebody who is ready for a committed relationship, somebody who is ready, who is responsible to you, and who will take responsibility of, making that decision. You also, before entering into this relationship, you want to be totally responsible for making this decision, and you also want to be responsible towards your partner. So you will take responsibility of your partner. But again, if Saturn is not so well placed, you may have a tendency to control your partner and dominate your partner. That's also possible. Okay? So you may be, authoritative. You may want to control them. So that is not how you should deal with your partner, because it's very important to deal with them fairly and justly. Just and fair treatment in the relationship is very important. If you are treating them justly and fairly, they will also treat you in the same way, sooner or later. So yeah, this relationship should be based on a sense of responsibility and even justice. That's very important. Doing justice to each other in the relationship is very important. Setting long-term goals in the relationship, being totally committed to each other in the relationship, all that is very important in the relation. If you try to control them too much, then what will happen? They may get distanced from you. Be careful. Also, again, instead, see to it that relationship is based on a sense of responsibility and commitment. And also, if your person belongs to your workplace, it's a green flag. If they're assisting you in your work, if you're doing some work together, it's very good. If they're somehow connected to your work, it's very good for the relationship. Now, after you enter into this relationship, both of you, your social status may also improve if Saturn is well placed in D1 and D9. Now, which professions are good for you? You can go into administration, into any field of work which is connected to analysis, and even, going to the depth of things, doing analysis and research, any field of work, even technology is good for you. Now, Capricorn is part of the Earth trine, so hard work. Whatever be your field of work, you have to make efforts. You have to be grounded, practical, goal-oriented. You are great planners. You are great organizers. You are both intuitive and analytical, Capricorn people. So any field of research, technology, that is good for you. You can do very well in politics also, provided you have a powerful Rahu in your horoscope, somehow connected to 10th Lord, 10th house or Saturn. You can do very well even in politics, administration, management, managerial jobs. No one can manage things better than you can. So all that is your forte. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're an Aquarius Ascendant in the D9. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. It is also believed to be co-ruled by Rahu, or the north node of the moon. Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius energy in the first house of your D9. Very interesting. You'll be somebody who will have a very unconventional outlook on life, on relationship. It's possible. You may also attract a partner who is, unconventional. Maybe who has an unusual look. Somebody who has an unusual disposition. Somebody who has an extraordinary or unconventional way of looking at life and things. Yes, you may attract such a partner. A partner who is a little eccentric, but you love their eccentricity because you yourself are eccentric at times, Yes, you have ambition in life, desires, expectations. Aquarius is part of the Karma trine, the trine of desires. So again, you also want a partner who is intelligent, because Aquarius is air sign. Somebody who is intelligent. Somebody who has intellectual abilities. Somebody who has a goal in life. Somebody who is ambitious in life. You want to attract such a partner, and together you want to fulfill your goals in life. You may set couple goals, life goals, career goals, and both of you can fulfill together. If you're an Aquarius Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha, you are somebody who love your independence. You really love your independence. So you want your partner also to respect your space and independence. And you will also want to respect their space. And you will also want them to be independent. Independent spirit is what you believe in. Okay? You believe in friendship with your partner. You believe in giving each other due space in the relationship, so that both of you can grow together and evolve as individuals in the relationship. That's what you want. You want somebody who is intelligent enough to understand all that. Yeah, a lot of expectations and desires pertaining to relationship. And you want to fulfill all of that when you meet your person who is also going to be unusual, extraordinary, exceptional, unconventional. Such people you can get attracted to in this life. People who have a humanitarian quality, who have the ability to stand up for injustice, stand up against injustice. They have this ability to raise their voice against injustice. They have this ability to rebel against even authority for the sake of justice. So such people you like, who may do things for social causes. You may also get into doing things for humanitarian causes, like you may be associated with social welfare organizations. You may dedicate your time to humanitarian causes, social welfare causes, and you want your partner also to have a similar mindset, to stand up against injustice in society. So that you can bring about a positive change and new revolution in society. So that there is equality, so that there is no injustice. That's what you want. That's what you believe in, actually. Now, what about your personality and fortune? Any field of research, investigation is going to be very good for you. Field of technology is very good for you. Occult is good for you. Occult healing practices, these are very good for you. You can also be an independent counselor, healer. These are promising fields for you. As far as profession is concerned, go to the depth of things. In-depth study, research, investigation will take you a long way in being successful in your work, whatever be your field of work. Come up with new inventions and discoveries through your research, and so on. Decode facts about things, about unknown terrains of knowledge, So various fields of knowledge. So you may be interested in any field of knowledge, and you may decode certain things which no one has ever decoded yet. You may unravel certain mysteries in that field of study and come up with your research, innovation, findings. So all that is possible. It could be any field of study or work. Now let's move on to what will happen if you're a Pisces Ascendant in the D9 or Navamsha chart. Pisces Ascendant. Pisces is part of the Moksha trine, compassion, spiritual liberation. And Pisces is the sign ruled by Jupiter. Ketu is also believed to be very comfortable in Pisces. And Pisces is the sign where Venus exalts while Mercury debilitates. So, very interesting. You may be a little careless about documents, about details, about instructions. It's possible. So be careful. Don't ignore instructions which are important, details which you should not overlook, and keep your documents carefully. It is a sign where Venus exalts, ruled by Jupiter. You always look at the bigger picture of things. Again, if Jupiter is more or less well placed in D1 and D9, you believe in gaining knowledge. You're large-hearted, generous, benevolent, forgiving. You believe in letting go of people's mistakes and follies. You believe in forgiving them and moving on in life with positivity, optimism, with self-surrender to the divine also. You can be very spiritual. But initially in life, you may be a little confused also. You may be lost. You may not know what should be your profession or calling, what should be your direction of life. You may be lost in your career. initially. You may be lost when it comes to making decisions in relationship also. You may be confused. And there is a duality in Pisces also. A certain duality in your nature will be there. Okay? And confusion initially in life, it's possible. But if Jupiter is well placed in D1 and D9, you'll be a true seeker of knowledge. And you'll want to share and impart that knowledge to people. You'll be charitable. You will, be part of organizations which are doing charity. You yourself may engage, you yourself may be engaged in charity, in helping others out. You should do that. That is a very big remedy. If you can afford that, you should do charity in order to seek divine blessings. Okay? And yeah, certain professions are very suitable for you, like healing, occult, spiritual practices, meditation, yoga, investments, technology, research, investigation. Any field of research investigation is suitable for you. You can be very artistic, creative. You can have artistic and creative qualities also. And your profession may be connected to your creative or artistic ability. You may be a great fictional writer or painter or dancer. Any sort of creative or artistic ability you may have. You may deal with foreign lands, foreign connections you may have. You may live in a foreign land, it's good. After you enter into a relationship or marriage, you may settle down in a foreign land. You may attract a person who belongs to a foreign culture. That's very good for the relationship. If you're in a relationship with somebody who belongs to a different language community or religion or different geographical region, it's very good for the relationship. Okay? What you're looking for in the relationship is surrender. Just as you want to surrender yourself to your partner, you want your partner also to surrender themselves to you truly. And you want that there should be, this relationship should be based on loyalty, and definitely you want that there has to be mutual trust. Very important. Now again, if Jupiter is not so well placed, there can be trust issues in the relationship. And you may even get distance from your partner. Complete surrender is what Pisces in the ascendant of D9 demands. Complete surrender on the part of both the parties in the relationship. Only then the relationship will survive. Otherwise there will be problems. You can get distance from each other if there are trust issues. Yes. Complete surrender, complete loyalty is important. Great intuitive connection. Complete transparency in the relationship also. Okay. Having compassion for each other. The ability to forgive each other. All that is very important. The desire to sacrifice your own happiness for your partner is important. Great physical compatibility or sexual connection, because Venus exalts in Pisces. So, attaining bed pleasures with your partner, having great sexual connection is also important in the relationship. Then eventually with time, the spiritual connection also will get deepened. If there is lack of sexual compatibility, then what will happen, So that also can be a reason why you can eventually get separated from your partner. That is also possible. So all these things you have to remember. So profession I already mentioned. So which professions are suitable for you? So any field of investments is very suitable for you. Trading, investments, insurance, chartered accountancy. Even you could be into coding. You could be a teacher of language. Yes. You could be into language teaching or somehow connected with language, code, any kind of coding. Technology, ethical hacking, investigation, research, and so on. Healing, occult practices, spiritual practices, so all that, even religious practices. So any of these fields of profession is suitable for you. And relationship will last if there is trust, mutual trust. Okay? And when you really make efforts to sacrifice your happiness for the other person, both of you make efforts in the relationship to make the other person happy. That's very important. Sacrifice and surrender, letting go of each other's follies and small mistakes, so that you can come together and you can have great physical connection as well as great spiritual bond. So all that is very important. Otherwise, you might unfortunately get distance from your partner as well. So friends, that was my take on all 12 different ascendants across the D9 or Navamsha chart. What will happen if you have a certain ascendant in the D9? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you want personal consultation, do get in touch with me. You can WhatsApp me. Details are there in the video description. Do subscribe to the channel, and before I wind up, be kind to all animals, birds and creatures. They too have the right to live. Try to be a vegetarian and be kind, and do some charity for people who live in old age homes and orphanages. See you next time. Thank you, friends.